Please like this video. It will really help this story reach as many people as possible. Thank you so much for your support. She stopped laughing at my jokes a month before it all snapped. Not a fight, not a speech, just a small, mean shift. I'd walk in after a 12-hour day, drop my bag by the pantry, and she'd half smile like a manager clocking a late employee. "You're doing another late one?" She tossed over her shoulder one Tuesday. "Interesting. For whom, Michael?" "For the payroll and the lease we like," I answered, rinsing my mug. "Who's got the yoga class tonight?" "Don't start." The tone was dry ice. "Some of us invest in ourselves." Back then I filed it under stress. End of quarter, audits, staff turnover in Tucson. I kept moving. Then I saw the card charges, high-end dinners downtown, a spa, a jeweler 3 weeks before our anniversary, when I was in San Antonio. She brushed it off. "Vendor Goodwill," she said, flipping through mail. "You forgot how that works?" "I remember it not happening at midnight," I told her. She rolled her eyes and went upstairs with her laptop. If I'd known where it was headed, I would have brought a moving truck on that first night and saved myself a few miles of thinking. The hook was my own fault. I came home early, velvet ring box in my jacket, feeling stupidly proud that I'd had my grandmother's sapphire reset. I parked in the driveway, saw her SUV already there, and stepped into a quiet house. No TV, no music, the kind of quiet that isn't rest, it's cover. Up the stairs, I heard laughter, then breath, then a rhythm that doesn't belong to any conference call. The bedroom door was open like a dare. He scrambled for his pants. My partner, my kid's godfather. She stayed in the sheet and gave me a look like I'd tracked dirt onto a white rug. "You're early," she said. Then, with boredom, it was one time. "Stop making a scene." I looked at the ring box in my hand. "Stupid velvet." He muttered apologies. She smirked. "In bed he's better anyway." I didn't say a word. I put the box back in my pocket, turned, walked out. Keys, wallet, phone. That was the whole speech. Derek opened his door in East Phoenix, barefoot, a beer in one hand, a baby monitor in the other. We grew up 2 blocks apart. He knows my face. "Bedroom?" he asked. "Boardroom," I said. "I'll take the couch." "You want to talk?" "No," I lay down. I stared at his ceiling until it changed from night to the pale gray of a Monday that doesn't care. Then I got up and did my job. I moved half the funds from the joint account to a new one in my name, left the other half where it was, changed passwords on every bank and investment portal I own, killed her access to my credit cards, called the landlord and set a termination meeting. The lease was in my name only. I scheduled utilities to stop at week's end. I went to a different branch and opened a safety deposit box. The ring box went in, and I left the vault colder than when I'd entered. By 10 I was back at the house with Derek. He hates drama. He carries boxes. "Say the word, and I throw the mattress over the railing," he said on the stairs. "Not yet," I told him. "Just clothes, documents, laptop. Then we lock up and go." We moved fast. In the closet, I noticed a new gap in the shoe wall and a pawn slip tucked into a boot I bought her 2 Christmases ago. Platinum ring with sapphire. Loan against collateral, $450. The date matched my San Antonio trip. So the velvet box hadn't been lost. It had been exchanged. That turned pain into math. I put the slip in my breast pocket and walked to the kitchen. A white index card, a Sharpie. I wrote 3 lines. "Lease ends in 30 days. Utilities off Friday. You're on your own now. Good luck." I left it on the island, next to the empty fruit bowl we never filled. Her call started as we hit the 51. "This is financial abuse," she said on voicemail. I made one mistake. Think about Noah. Don't destroy his family over pride. I muted her. Cole texted, asking for coffee, talking about friendship, business, employees, the team. He wanted a conversation. I scrolled, saved nothing, and then I did the adult thing I should have done years ago. I started a file. Statements, screenshots, hotel receipts on nights I was out of state, restaurant charges that didn't match any client dinners, the pawn slip photo. I built a timeline like I was preparing a presentation with one slide. Respect is binary. I didn't go back that night. I worked from Derek's kitchen, the baby monitor buzzing with white noise. Around 11, Alana Pierce, my wife's friend from college, texted me a number and then called. "I'm done covering for her," Alana said without hello. Her voice was tight. "It's not one time. It's been at least 4 months. I saw them together in Fort Worth in March. You sure about March? I asked. I'm sure about the hotel and the earrings. She asked me to swear it was a fluke. I'm not swearing for anyone anymore. She exhaled. Cole's wife is 7 months along. Her name's Julia. She's not blind, just isolated. Send me Julia's contact, I said. Alana hesitated. You're not going to shout at anyone? I'm going to tell the truth, I answered. And I'm going to back it up. She gave me the number. I texted Julia, and then I called. We'd met a handful of times at company events. She was gentle, a middle school counselor type, always watching the room. She answered on the second ring. Julia, it's Michael Reed. I know, she said. I was wondering how long it would take. I won't insult you with soft language, I told her. I walked in on them last night. I have details and documents. I'll send them. Let me pause the story for just a second. If you're still listening, please hit the like button on this video. It really helps YouTube show this story to more people. Thank you so much for the support. Now let's get back to the story. She didn't cry. She took a breath that sounded like a decision. Send everything. And if you have access to any corporate cards, I want that too. I do, I replied. And I have a partner who thinks the rules are optional. Not for long, she said. I'll get his laptop tonight. That line hung in the air like a switch in a dark room. She wasn't angry. She was effective. The next morning, my inbox lit up. Julia sent screenshots, hotel bookings, emails from his work account to a personal one we both recognized, client entertainment, coded to restaurants where our clients have literally never set foot. She forwarded the whole package to our board chair with a simple cover, for your governance review. I forwarded my file a minute later and then called the chair. We're convening this afternoon, he told me. I'm sorry. She's not my wife anymore, I replied. Do what you have to do. I called Noah next. He's 18, a freshman at ASU, and believes most adult mess is solvable with honesty and coffee. I gave him facts. It's true, he asked, quiet. It's true, I said. You don't have to take my side. You just have to look at behavior. I'm with you, he answered. I'll stay at the dorm. I don't want to be in the house. She'll call, I told him. Don't be rude. Be brief. You're not a witness. You're my son. We'll have dinner Friday. My treat. Okay, he said. Dad, I'm sorry. You didn't do it, I told him. You just learned from it. By noon my phone was on fire. From her, we can fix this. From Cole, let's protect the firm. From the board chair, we have a quorum. From Derek, I put the ring box in the safe. You want me to go break something? He knows me. He offers violence as a joke, sanity as a service. Bring coffee to the house, I texted Derek. I'm picking up something first. The pawn shop clerk didn't care about my story. He cared about the slip and the fee. I paid and walked out with my grandmother's ring in a brown envelope that smelled like 1,000 broken promises. It went into the bank vault with the other things that weren't for anyone anymore. At the house, Sabrina stood by the island, my note in her hand, her hair still damp like she'd staged contrition in the mirror. She looked tired and righteous. You're freezing me out? She asked. After one mistake. You pawned my grandmother's ring for $450, I said, holding up the envelope. That's not a mistake. That's a plan. I needed cash for a vendor dinner, she snapped. I was going to buy it back. Don't twist it. You set dates on my utilities already, she added, voice climbing. Do you hear yourself? Derek walked in behind me with a carrier of iced coffee, put it on the counter, and leaned on the fridge like an umpire. Your new budget is whatever's left in that joint account, I told her. Use it wisely. In 30 days, you'll have a new address. You're abusing me financially, she said. Noah will hate you. Noah thinks with his own head. I answered. Try it. She shifted gears so fast I almost laughed. I'm sorry, she said, stepping closer, not touching, going soft. I don't know what I was doing. I've been stressed. I miss us. Can we talk after the board calms down? There's nothing to calm down, I said. There's only what you did and what I'm doing. Her eyes went flat. You're not ruining my career, she said. If you press this, You'll what? Derek cut in, finally. Complain to HR that your husband hurt your feelings? You cooked the numbers. We all saw the line items. She turned to him. This is between spouses. It stopped being between spouses when you moved it onto the corporate card, he said, opening a coffee. Also, he's my friend. She pulled back like the room was dirty. One time, She repeated, slower, like I was hard of hearing. You're throwing away 22 years because you can't handle one mistake. I'm throwing away 22 years because you did, a month at a time, and then you charged it to the business, I told her. I'll be back Friday for a few things. Don't be here. She tried again, smaller. Can we at least keep this out of the office? We can do a quiet separation. No lawyers. No filings. I'll resign on my own terms. Don't push for anything else. That was the first false thaw. It almost worked. I let my shoulders drop. I almost said we'd discuss logistics. Then Derek's phone buzzed, and he held it up with 2 fingers. The board email popped on the screen, emergency session at 3, and I remembered who I was. Pack your office, I said. Today. You don't get to order me, she said. I do when my name's on the door, I answered. I'll see you across a table at 3, and there will be witnesses. That's the only talking left. Her expression flickered. Panic, then calculation. She put the note back on the island, neatly aligned with the marble veins like that would fix anything. She called all afternoon. When I didn't pick up, she texted Derek. Tell him I'm sorry, she wrote. Tell him I love him. Derek typed back, he knows, then tossed me the phone. We walked into the boardroom at 10 till, and the air had that crisp smell of fear and coffee. Cole sat at the far end in a navy jacket over a polo like casual meant harmless. He looked up at me like a dog that tipped the trash can and wanted absolution. Sabrina sat 2 chairs down from the chair, laptop closed, hands around a water bottle like PR. Michael, the chair said, standing. I'm sorry. Don't be, I told him. Protect the firm. Cole started with his script. This is personal and has no bearing on client work. We've built this together. Let's not let a family matter. Client work? I cut him off. Name the client who had a stake at Mastro's on March 18th at 11:15 p.m. because he didn't. The chair cleared his throat. We have materials, he said, tapping his folder. From Michael and from Julia Stanton. The numbers are specific. Sabrina leaned in. Those were vendor relationships, she said. We can reconcile. Don't blow up a company over paperwork that looks. $73,000 mis-coded as entertainment, the chair said evenly. No client present. Reimbursements that don't match mileage. Hotel bookings in Fort Worth when we had no event. We did our own calls this morning. The clients named weren't there. Cole tried on contrition like a rental suit. I made mistakes. I can make the firm whole. It's not just money, I said. It's trust. And it's the use of staff time to cover it. Sabrina aimed at me. If you push this, you push me to the DA, she said, finally letting the threat land. Do you want that, Michael? After 2 decades. Do you? I asked back. The chair spoke before anyone else could. We're voting to dissolve Cole's partnership, terminate both employment contracts for cause, and refer the matter externally. It's unanimous. The room went still. It's a special kind of quiet when a person realizes the elevator is dropping and the cord is cut. Sabrina went instantly soft again, round 2. We can handle this like adults, she said, voice sweet, hand sliding toward mine on the table. We can make a plan. Quiet separation. No public mess. I walk away, you walk away. We protect Noah. We protect Noah by telling the truth, I said, moving my hand back. I don't want your job. I want my time back. Cole stood, knocking his chair against the wall. Michael, don't do this, he said. Think about the team. Think about what we built. I'm thinking about exactly that, I told him. And I'm taking it back. The chair looked pained. Security will escort you to collect personal items, he said. Access is revoked, effective now. She glared at me like I'd done it with my hands. Then her phone lit on the table, a text from Julia. Sabrina glanced, went pale, and flipped its screen down like that would stop it. That was the kill turn for me. Whatever sympathy was left leaked out through the edges and was gone. I signed the dissolution adjustment with a pen that had our logo on it. I didn't think about that. I signed the HR letters for the terminations. I didn't think about that either. Then I stepped out, called my landlord, and finalized the exit date. Let me pause the story for just a second. If you're still listening, please hit the like button on this video. It really helps YouTube show this story to more people. Thank you so much for the support. Now let's get back to the story. I called the utility companies and confirmed Friday's shutoffs. I called my attorney to file for divorce and to separate finances formally. I liked the whole music more than I liked the last month with my wife. Noah met me at a diner off Camelback that night. Dad, is she okay? He asked. 18, still tries to be fair. She's an adult, I said. Adults handle consequences. I told her I'm staying out of it, he said. She said you're ruining her life on purpose. She ruined it efficiently without me, I answered. But you don't have to say that. You just have to pass salt. He slid me the salt. Then he leaned back and stared at the ring box I'd put on the table, just to remind myself what I'd saved. You're not giving it back, he said. No, I said. I'm holding it for someone who understands the weight of a promise. The next morning, Sabrina's attorney called Derek's phone, which was a fun choice. My client proposes a quiet divorce, the lawyer said when I picked up. No contest, no claims. If there's a guarantee you will not pursue any criminal referrals. I don't influence the board, I said, and I don't bargain away ethics. File your papers. I'll file mine. This can get messy, she warned. It already got clean, I told her. She's not in my house, not in my accounts, not in my company. You can write a novel. I'll send a postcard. Then Julia texted me. DA referral sent. Board copied. Also, I found an old email thread where he bragged about client comps that never happened. Thank you, I replied. I'm sorry. Don't waste sorry on me, she wrote. I have a plan and a baby shower on Saturday. I'll show up with a smile. Sabrina tried a third angle the following day, the public one. She cornered me in the parking lot outside our Phoenix office while I was walking a new client to his car. Michael, she said loudly, like an announcement. We need to talk about your spite. Not now, I told her. It's about Noah, she pushed, stepping closer. You're making him choose sides. The client looked at me. I kept my tone flat. Work matter, I said to him. 1 minute. He nodded and checked his phone. Stop using our son as a shield, I told her, not lowering my voice. He's not a prop. He's a man, and he already chose integrity. She threw her hands up for the audience. He's punishing me because he's hurt, she told the client. This isn't who he is. This is exactly who I am, I answered. And he's exactly who I raised. I walked the client to his car and signed the deal that afternoon. People like clarity. They can smell it when they finally get it. By week's end, utilities clicked off like theater lights after a show. She moved into a short-term place near Biltmore with boxes and complaints. Cole lost his badge access, and the board sent a notice for reimbursement. I brought in a new partner I'd been courting quietly for years, a sober operator who prefers numbers to noise. We reworked the Tucson staff plan and tightened the Phoenix office like a ship. Noah swung by my new apartment uptown to help hang a TV. This place is clean, he said, admiring the empty counter. Mom would hate it. She hated most things that didn't revolve around her calendar, I said, including countertops. She's asking about Thanksgiving, he added. We'll do Wednesday, I replied. You give her Thanksgiving. Split the weekend. You still get to be a kid sometimes. She's not going to like that, he said. She doesn't have to, I told him, smiling just enough to let him know the world didn't end. The firm stabilized. We cut dead weight and kept the clients who cared about performance, not gossip. The board chair called to apologize again. I cut him off. You did your job, I said. Thank you for not blinking. He paused. You sound steady, Michael. I am, I said. I've been training for this for 22 years. Months passed, enough to make the house feel like a previous address instead of a wound. I saw Sabrina once at a grocery store. She was wearing sunglasses indoors and talking too loudly on the phone about a consulting opportunity that didn't sound like an opportunity. I didn't make eye contact. She didn't either. We used to fit our lives into a shared calendar. Now we were two people buying milk. Alana texted me a short update about Julia. She filed. She's okay. Baby's healthy. A picture of a newborn hand gripping a pinky arrived 2 days later. I texted congratulations. That was the entire conversation. That's how adults do it when there's nothing left to say. Noah brought a girl to dinner one Friday, a tall brunette with a dry sense of humor and a college soccer scholarship. She doesn't tolerate nonsense. He grinned, which is our family brand now. Good, I said. I've retired nonsense. We ate burgers at my place with the big window that looks down the street toward the lights. After he left, I opened the safe, took out my grandmother's ring, and set it on the table for a minute. The stone caught the kitchen light and sat there quietly, doing the job it was made to do. Wait for someone who deserved it. Saturday morning, I made coffee and answered emails. Contracts, staff schedules, a request for a training in Tucson. My new partner messaged me. You want me to take Tuesday? Take it, I replied. I'm meeting a realtor about a small building in Midtown. I'm tired of leases. He sent back a thumbs up. That's our whole language. I've had people ask me why I didn't explode that first night. Why I didn't take a bat to the furniture or to the person who used my family as a line item. The answer is simple. I don't waste motion. I don't write poetry on a burning wall. I shut off the gas and walk out. On my last trip to the old house, a week before the lease ended, I went back for a toolbox and a snow globe Noah made in 3rd grade. The place was half empty, a museum of holes where frames used to be. A neighbor was walking his dog and waved from the sidewalk. You heading out for good? He asked. For better, I said. Sabrina pulled up in her SUV while I was locking the door. She got out, looked at the blacked-out windows, and then at me. You did all this to hurt me, she said, flat like it was an item on a list. No, I answered. I did all this to stop you from hurting me. She looked past me, into the house that wasn't hers, and I watched the calculation finally end. No audience. No cards left. Just the absence of access. She tried one last time, a small human attempt. If we had just talked that first night. I brought you a ring, I said. You pawned one. She swallowed and glanced at my hand. I slipped my keys onto the landlord's hook and turned back to her. Here's the last rule, I said. You don't call me unless it's about Noah's health or schedule. Everything else goes through paper. You don't get to use my time as a currency anymore. You think you won, she sneered. I didn't come to play, I said. I came to work. I walked to my truck, the same one that hauled us from apartment to first house, from first office to second. She stood by the curb, smaller than she'd ever let herself be, and watched me leave without a scene. When I merged onto the main road, I felt something I hadn't felt in a year. Silence that wasn't cover. At home, I put the snow globe on a shelf, brewed coffee, and opened my laptop. I signed a new partnership agreement. I booked 2 client visits. I sent Noah a text. Dinner Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Your choice. He replied with a thumbs up and a photo of a pizza menu. I laughed. That's our language too. The ring went back into the safe. It's not a shrine. It's a reminder. I don't keep relics to stare at. I keep tools for later. Someday, maybe, I'll hand that ring to someone who knows that a promise is a job, not a mood. Sabrina? She's around, I guess. I hear she's working as a temp, that she moved again, that the network she counted on got real quiet when there were no favors left to trade. I don't root against her. I don't root for her either. She's a grown-up. The board handled the numbers. The rest is oxygen and time. People like to dress this kind of story up, make it a sermon about forgiveness or fury. I don't have the patience. Here's what I tell anyone who asks. The only thing that stands between you and disrespect becoming your routine is a decision. Not a speech. Not a threat. A decision that gets legs. You set your rules, you act first, and you don't look back to see if they approve. When I walked out with the ring in my pocket and my name still on the door, I wasn't angry. I was working. And now I live how I work. Clear, quiet, and busy. That's the whole story. Our story has come to an end. If you've made it this far, how about subscribing to our channel? It helps us immensely. I've selected 2 other videos for you that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Feel free to click on them. I'll be waiting for you in the next story. See you soon.